This is the BenQ PD3420Q, a 34-inch 21:9 Quad HD IPS monitor made specifically for designers and video editors. Whew, that was a long one. Hi everyone, Thao here. Taking a look at the monitor itself, I'm a big fan of the matte gray color and industrial design. It looks really clean and won't feel out of place in a professional environment. The stand is solid, and although the base does take up some space, I'm glad they didn't go overboard with the design. It's essentially a flat metal plate that actually gives you some space to store stuff. I was actually really surprised how high the stand extended. There's also a small loop on the back of the stand to help with cable management. If you're not a fan of the stand, you could always just mount it on a monitor arm since this is VESA compatible. In terms of inputs, you've got plenty of options, including 2 HDMI ports, a DisplayPort, a USB-C port, and 4 USB 3.1 ports. 2 of them can be found on the left side of the monitor, along with a headphone jack. I love the location. Makes plugging in headphones super easy. There are also 2 2.5 watt speakers built in, which sound fine, just don't expect to be blown away. So the question I had is, what exactly makes this monitor stand out if you're a designer or content creator? Well, it's all about the color accuracy. You get 100% of the sRGB or Rec. 709 color space, as well as 98% of the P3 color space. It has a delta E of 3 or less, which is considered an acceptable match for commercial reproduction on printing presses. It's VESA Display HDR 400 certified, and every monitor actually comes with a matching factory calibration report. So I know that's a lot of marketing mumbo jumbo, but basically they've gone over and beyond to ensure that out of the box, you'll have that peace of mind when it comes to color accuracy. Although I'm far from a professional, I can still definitely appreciate the attention to detail when it comes to colors. The entire display has this anti-glare, almost matte-like finish, which is really nice. I mean, the last thing you'd want is distracting reflections when working. It's not 4K, but the text and images look sharp. Even though I'm usually sitting right in front, viewing angles are surprisingly good even when I'm not. For designers and content creators though, a flat display is likely more ideal since it prevents lines from being skewed due to a curved display. So you've got a variety of custom and industry standard display modes to choose from, including sRGB, DCI P3, and Display P3, as well as custom-made modes for things like animation, MacBooks, and CAD work. So regardless of what work you do, the monitor should be up to it. I was working off of dual monitors before. This is actually my first ultra-wide, and having that extra horizontal space for the timeline really cuts down on the amount of scrolling I normally do. Even running 2 windows side by side, there's plenty of room for each and it never really feels cramped. Traditional 4:3 content will have black bars on either side, but movies and content shot in the wider aspect ratio look amazing on this display. The monitor also has a couple of tricks up its sleeve: picture-in-picture and picture-by-picture modes. Picture-in-picture lets you select a main input and add a second input in a pop-up. Picture-by-picture allows you to split the screen in a variety of ways, including up to 4 different inputs at once. The resolutions can get a little wonky in the split modes. I've actually only found myself using the 5:9 split with my PS4. If you've tried to connect a console to an ultra-wide monitor, you'll notice the image just gets stretched and it's not a great experience. The 5:9 split helps fix this. Outside of that, I really haven't found a need for these modes. It's definitely cool, and if your workflow can benefit from it, you'll obviously love it. In the box, you'll also get this thing called the Hotkey Puck G2 to help you navigate the display settings. You can customize 3 quick shortcuts for things like inputs or your favorite display color settings. The dial can be set to volume, brightness, or contrast. It's actually quite handy and makes going through the settings a little easier. You'd otherwise have to reach behind the monitor to access the physical buttons. Another alternative is to download BenQ's Display Pilot software. Besides giving you access to all the display settings, it also has a couple of cool functions. The desktop partition lets you snap windows into your own custom layout. There's quite a few to choose from, but select the layout you want. Then, when you pick up a window, a small graphic will appear. Then, just drop it into the position you want, let go, and it'll snap to that position. Application mode lets you add applications and a color mode to pair with it. When the app is open and active, the display will automatically switch to that color mode. This could save you quite a bit of time if you switch color modes often. You can also pick a color mode that the display will default back to whenever you're not in one of those programs. Another interesting feature is dual view, which lets the display show two different color modes at the same time. So for example, you can have sRGB set on the left and display P3 set on the right. Overall, my experience with this monitor has been amazing. If you're a content creator, photographer, or someone who does design work, this is a solid option. I think you're gonna really appreciate and benefit from the attention put into the display's color accuracy. If you're not doing that type of work, you can probably find 34-inch 1440p ultra-wide monitors at a lower price point. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Until the next one, I'm out of here.